Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Miss Cherry. If you're new here, welcome and thank you for tuning in to another day of Vlogmas. It is so crazy that we are like almost halfway done with Vlogmas. It's so wild. It feels like it's gone super duper fast. So I wanted to come to you today with a pin video. I'm not proud of this video, guys. I am in pin jail. Big time. Like, I am in trouble. This is going to be a two-part series. And where this came from was a lovely subscriber and Instagram friend of mine came to me and said, Jessi, you have to check out these live auctions on Instagram. And they pointed me in the direction of Disney Chris on Instagram, and I will leave their information down below. And I want you guys to check them out, go follow them. They're absolutely incredible and they run their auctions so streamlined. I'm so pleased with the customer service and everything that they have done. And I will say that some of these pins I've had for a while. Some of them, or most of them I should say, I've accumulated in the last few weeks. So it's been an intense pin day for us, okay? An intense pin couple of weeks, we'll just say that. And something to note in this video, a lot of these pins are going to be fantasy pins and LEs. And something else to note too is they're not all from Disney Chris, and I'll definitely let you guys know where they're from if I know where they're from. Now, some of these are going to be from Disney Weekend Deals that's on a Facebook site, and then others are just going to be from Etsy shops and what have you. So I have a couple of main collections. So this video that you're currently watching is going to be all of my side collections, and that includes fantasy pins, regular pins, etc. And then tomorrow's video, or the next video, part 2, is going to be my main collection that's going to include all of my Little Mermaid pins that I purchased in the last few months, as well as 4, yes I said it, 4 Grail pins. Like, I'm talking ultimate Grail pins. Like, your girl went crazy and it's not okay, but I'm dealing with the consequences, and you know what? No regrets. No regrets here. I'm good with it. So let's get into it. Let's get into these side pins so I can show you guys and see what you think. You'll have to let me know down below what you think of this little pin haul that I'm doing. We're gonna start with a fantasy pin that I got from a Disney Chris auction. And this fantasy pin falls into the category of Winnie the Pooh, one of my favorite side collections. And so here is my Eeyore pin. So this Eeyore pin features his really sweet little detachable tail, as well as a nice little rain cloud that you'll see in the bottom corner there. And I just love that it shows his stitching and stuffing, and I'm really excited to add this to my Winnie the Pooh collection. Next we have another pin. This pin was from Disney Weekend Deals, and this pin is a Winnie the Pooh birthday pin. This pin has an element that opens on it, and so as you will see here, it has Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, and they're celebrating a birthday, and they have balloons and streamers, and Pooh's holding a little present. And they're both wearing party hats, which is so adorable. And then it opens up and it says, "Happy birthday from Pooh, Tigger, and me, and Piglet too." And it's also got Piglet riding on some balloons, having the best time with some streamers. This particular pin is a 2005 Disney cast member exclusive. And guys, I do not know the pricing on these. They are all, you know, secondhand or something along those lines. So it's really hard for me to remember like all of the pricing on all of these. And the other thing is that there are so many. This was a really sweet pin. It's a dangle pin, very, very old. It has a honey pot, and Pooh is dangling from the honey pot. And it has a little heart right next to him, and it says, "I love Winnie the Pooh." And I just thought this pin was really precious. And it doesn't really have any information on the back other than the Disney copyright logo. so I don't know a whole lot about that pin. The next pin I'm going to show you is another happy birthday pin, and why I got so many birthday pins was because this was the week of my birthday when I ordered all of these pins. So that had a little something to do with it. It's a Disneyland Hong Kong pin from 2011, and it's got Tigger, Pooh, and Piglet, and it says happy birthday, and it's got these really beautiful balloons at the top of the pin, as well as them just having the best time celebrating with a banner and cake. And it is just quite the scene. I would love to attend a birthday party with them, that's for sure. So, also the glitter detail on that pin is just immaculate. So, very pleased with that particular pin. Next, we're gonna go to a pin that I got from a Disney cruise sale. This pin doesn't have any information on the back at all. It's actually completely blank, so it leads me to believe that it is a pretty old pin, which is wonderful. I love vintage things. I love secondhand things. So to me, that is really wonderful. So I'm definitely okay with that. And I also love it because it looks like it's got a really nice hard enamel outside. And this is Owl. And I actually don't believe I have any owl pins. And so I was really excited to go ahead and purchase this for my Winnie the Pooh collection to add a little diversity to my Winnie the Pooh board. Next pin is also an older pin. This pin is from Disneyland Paris, I believe. Also has a really large enamel front. And actually, I take that back. I believe it is a Disney Store item. It might be Disney Store UK. I'm not 100% sure. It had a Euro listing on the back, so my guess is it's probably the Disney Store UK. And this actually features Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Kangaroo, Eeyore, and Piglet. And it says Merry Christmas 2004. And the coloring on this pin, as well as the detail with all of them wearing small elements of Christmas, just really spoke to me, and I'm very, very excited to have this pin in my collection. You can never have enough Winnie the Pooh pins, in my opinion. In my opinion! How come no one has anybody used that before? Opinion? Anyway. I'm a sucker for puns. I am my father's daughter. There's another pin that looks very similar to a pin that I showed you previously, and this was from the Disney weekend deals again. Sorry, I probably should have categorized these a little bit better, guys, but we're just, you know, kind of doing it off the cuff. So this is another pin that is a dangle element pin, and it has Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, and there's the Pooh honey pot again with the dangle element, and it says friends forever. And I just love the relationship between Pooh and Piglet. I think it's super precious. And I really love the dangle element in this pin. I just think it is really, really nice. It's also super old. And I'm kind of attracted to older things, so love. Now, there are two pins, and these might actually, yeah, they're my favorite pins that I got for my Winnie the Pooh collection from this haul, and you will find out why really soon. So these are both brand new Disneyland Paris pins that are Pooh and Friends from the Halloween party in Paris. So here you can see Piglet inside of his little pumpkin, and look, there's little candies all around him, and he's having the best time, and his facial expression is just precious. And I also really love how the jack-o'-lantern looks in this pin. I think it is super duper smiley and adorable, and I would like to replicate that pumpkin maybe next year. But you guys know how much I love Halloween, especially Halloween in Disney, and so very pleased to add these to my collection. The next is the ultimate pin. So if you guys have watched some pin tags previously, you probably know that like My favorite form of character when it comes to Halloween is Dracula. And I know that's kind of odd, but I have a lot of characters in Dracula outfits. And now I get to add Winnie himself to my Dracula pin set collection. I only have a few, but OM goodness! You can see, can you guys see his tiny, tiny little Dracula teeth? He's got the cape, the whole 9 yards. And doesn't he look not scary at all, but it's super adorable. Love, love, love this pin. This pin, they are limited edition. Oh no, I'm sorry, I take that back. They're open edition, Disneyland Paris. 2018, so they were from the Halloween party this year. Love these pins. The next few pins I'm going to show you are actually a series of fantasy pins that I purchased through eBay. Now, these are Ellie's of 100. I do not know who the original artist was or where you can get these pins. However, once I show you these fantasy pins, you're going to understand why I purchased them, and I have several that are in this style. Something I want to say is that I tried to complete this set. Pocahontas is on her way, so let me show you this amazing fantasy pin. So here is Rapunzel as a mermaid. So this is a complete mermaid series of all of these different characters in mermaid form. Her hair is immaculate. And then, I don't know if it's showing up well in camera, but the glitter detail on her fins and the fins that are on the side of her hips is beautiful. I'm just so, so pleased with the quality of these fantasy pins. I think they're so unique and so beautiful. The next I'm going to show you is also from eBay. I got most of these on eBay. I got one from the Disney Chris online auction. This one, my best friend Nikki is going to die for, and you guys can probably guess, if you've heard me talk about Nikki before, who this is. It is Megara. Very rare character. You hardly ever see her in pin form, and I absolutely love that they added her to this collection. Look at that hair and look at those fins. Gorgeous, gorgeous pin. The next up in this series is Jessica Rabbit. Jessica Rabbit is such a fun character. I think that she is very underrated and very underrepresented in merchandise, as is Roger Rabbit. Look at how they represented her on this pin. They went ahead and gave her her full glitter dress, so she's one of the rare characters in this series that does not have an exposed stomach, which I kind of think is everything, and she's got those long gloves. And I just thought they did this pin so, so well. So I'm very, very impressed by this. The next pin comes from a Disney Chris auction from that same collection. And it is Miss Elsa in her mermaid form. One of the other ones that does not have an exposed midriff, and I am living for it. I also love that this isn't her quote-unquote frozen dress, where she's in her green dress. Reminds me of the Coronation Day dress, and I think that she looks immaculate. I love her little braid and also her cape in this particular pin. This next pin is a Sleeping Beauty pin represented in her blue quote-unquote dress or her blue mermaid fins, and she's holding a blue rose. And I think that this is wonderful that she's finally not in her pink dress, because I prefer Aurora in her blue dress. So I love that she's represented with blue in this particular pin. One last pin in this particular collection that I purchased, and you guys are gonna think this is so silly. This is a good transition because now we are gonna move straight into a category that is of this character, and I'm not gonna tell you until you see this pin. You guys, how silly is this pin? It is Mermaid Stitch holding his ukulele and having the best time of his life. Is this the silliest pin you've ever seen? I'm loving it. I love, love, love it. And I'm a Stitch collector. So Stitch, I do actually have a pretty large collection of Stitch. So maybe I should probably consider him one of my main collections, but oh my goodness, this pin is so, so silly and I love it. So let's keep going with Stitch because that is our last category that we have for this video. So I got this combo pin that is a mashup with Tinkerbell, and it is Magical Milestones, and it is an LE of 750. And it is 2000 and, ooh, that's so tiny, 2006, I believe. And it is a pin celebration from Disneyland, California. It's got a little dangle element that says Disneyland Resort. And it's got Stitch and Tinkerbell on it. And I just thought that this was a really sweet and unique pin that I've never seen Stitch and Tinkerbell go together on. So I kind of thought that was pretty cool. The next pin is Stitch in his Experiment 626 form. This was a pin from 2005. And if you guys don't know, I'm a really big fan of Stitch in his 626 form. There he is, looking a little bit scared with kind of a cool little geometric background there that's all shimmery, and he's got his 6 appendages, and I just love when he is in this form. I think he's so cute, and I think he's actually underrepresented in merchandise in that particular form. The next pin actually has a movable element in it. It is a Mickey pin, Odyssey pin from 2003. And here it is. He is on Space Mountain and having the time of his life. And as you can see, his little rocket ship moves back and forth. And I think that this pin is really fun, and I think it captures Stitch really well. He's always having some sort of good time and being ornery in some way. The next pin is a 2006 open edition pin, and I have a very small collection of patriotic pins, or United States American flag pins, and I had never seen this before, and so this is our boy Stitch wearing American flag swimming trunks, and I just think that is so cute. And so it's kind of a combo of the 2 pin collections that I have of patriotic pins, as well as my little friend Stitch. And the very last pin, you guys, I hope you absolutely love this pin as much as I do. It might be the shining star of this entire video. This is a fantasy pin from DisneyAces.com. If you haven't checked them out, definitely go see them. Their channel, their website is amazing, and they have a ton of super duper fun fantasy pins. And they did a little play off of Stunning Silhouettes with Stitch. So I'm sure you guys have seen the Princess collection of Stunning Silhouettes that came out this last year. They did basically the exact same design with a stained glass element behind Stitch with Scrump in the bottom, and then there's the Ugly Duckling storybook. But I just thought that this was so clever and wonderful how they put this together. So I love that. Again, they are called Disney Aces, and they will be linked below. Oh my goodness, you guys! That was part 1 of my pin haul. Whoopsies. Well, sometimes that happens, but if, please let me know down below which pin you liked from this haul. Again, everyone that I purchased pins from, their information is going to be linked below for your reference, just in case you would like some pins as well. But oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Let me know down below what your favorite pin of this haul was. And also, I'm very curious, do you guys do Disney pin auctions, or have you been a part of Disney pin auctions? And if you have, let me know down below who you watch auctions through, because this is kind of a new avenue for me and it has been so fun. So anyway, guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, be sure to subscribe down below. Lots of Vlogmas and lots of Disney content is still coming your way and kind of will always be. So that's kind of a given from me. But anyway, it's time for a Disney story. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. TTFN. Bye. Thank you for joining me for another day of Vlogmas. Today's story, Aurora's Homemade Holiday, featuring characters from Sleeping Beauty. One snowy December day, Princess Aurora and Prince Philip decided to go for a walk. My aunts and I used to love getting ready for Christmas, Aurora told Philip. The fairies, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather, had secretly raised Aurora to keep her safe from an evil fairy. Even though she now knew who she was, Aurora still thought of them as her aunts. Let's invite them for the holidays, Philip suggested. What a splendid idea, Aurora cried. That afternoon, Prince Philip sent an invitation to Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. Then he set off on a short trip to attend to some of his royal duties. Aurora didn't mind. Now her Christmas preparations would be a surprise for Philip when he returned. When the three good fairies arrived, the princess made her special request. You want a Christmas exactly like the ones we shared at the cottage? Flora asked. That means we can't use magic. You'd better take our wands so we're not tempted to use them, Fauna said to Aurora. Aurora led the fairies to the basket of evergreen branches, ornaments, and bows. Let's start by trimming the tree, exclaimed Merryweather. We should hang the evergreen branches first, Flora said. Waiting for her two aunts to agree could take all day, so Aurora suggested that she and Flora put up the branches while Fauna and Merryweather decorated the tree. Later, Aurora and the fairies baked their special Christmas dessert. I can't wait until Philip tastes your lemon cake, Aurora told Fauna. I want to give Philip a homemade present, Aurora said when they were done baking, but I don't know how to sew. Can you help me? Aurora and the fairies spent the day making Philip a new shirt. As Aurora worked on her present, she began to smile. Do you remember the stocking you made when I was a little girl? She asked with a giggle. Of course, said Flora. We forgot to stitch up the bottoms and the gifts fell out. Aurora and the fairies laughed at that happy memory. When Prince Philip arrived back at the castle, Aurora had met him at the door. Close your eyes, she said, and don't open them until I tell you to. Aurora led Philip to the grand hall where the fairies were waiting. Ready? Aurora announced. Philip looked around. Crooked wreaths dangled from the wall. The Christmas tree was decorated only on one side. Lopsided cakes, burnt tarts, and misshapen cookies filled a table. I've never seen preparations like these before, Philip said politely. I can understand why you find them so special. Aurora handed Philip his gift. A shirt, said the prince, opening his box as he put on his present. The princess and the fairies burst into laughter. Oh dear, that's certainly not the right size, Aurora said. Nonsense, Philip insisted. It's the perfect fit. Just like you and me, Aurora said to her prince. Merry Christmas. I hope you guys enjoyed today's story, and we will see you again tomorrow for our next installment of Vlogmas. TTFN! Bye!